First up on the show, in a few hours from now, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing the Indian diaspora event in Abu Dhabi. WION Modi is one of the biggest diaspora events outside of India so far. Now, in his two-day visit to the UAE, Prime Minister Modi will interact with the Indian diaspora. Enthusiasm for the grand event is evident from the over 60,000 registrations last week. A major attraction will be over 700 cultural artists displaying India's diversity at the event. 150 Indian community groups are involved in the event that will highlight diverse Indian cultures. India's ambassador to the UAE spoke to WION's principal diplomatic correspondent about the mega event. Listen in.
Well, this country, as you said, is home to more than 3.5 million Indian nationals, which makes it the country which has the largest Indian national population anywhere in the world. I can say with confidence that each one of them is keen to see Prime Minister Modi. And that's why the community has come together to organize this mega event in Abu Dhabi called Ahlan Modi. Ahlan is a very beautiful word in Arabic which actually means welcome. So it is their way of welcoming Prime Minister Modi. It's going to be held in Abu Dhabi at the Zayed Sports City.
Nari Shakti, or women's empowerment, will amply be on display within the Indian community in UAE. The women have registered in significant numbers for the event. The Indian community of nearly 3.5 million members is the largest ethnic group in the UAE, as the ambassador himself said. It makes up about 35% of the country's population.
I'm actually with IPF. I'm cultural head in IPF Abu Dhabi chapter. So we were actually working on this since last 1 month, and day and night we are behind this event and really so much happy.
Welcome to WION. It's great to be here inside the stadium.
Thank you so much.
What's your first response, or perhaps your feeling as you enter here and wait for the Prime Minister to address?
We are very much excited. Since 2 days we are coming here, and everything is gearing up for the visit of our Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi, and we are all very much excited. We are volunteering also, and we are expecting so many people today. We are here to take care of them, to allot their seats.
Okay.
Now, earlier, Prime Minister Modi held a bilateral meeting with the UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The Prime Minister will also take part in the World Government Summit as the guest of honor later. Now, apart from the high diplomatic interactions, the Prime Minister will be inaugurating the first traditional Hindu stone temple named BAPS on February 14th. It will be the largest Hindu temple in the West Asian nation. The temple sits on 27 acres of land that was gifted by the UAE leadership. It will open to the public on the 1st of March. On February 14th, Prime Minister Modi will also be travelling to the Qatari capital Doha after concluding his two-day visit to UAE. The Prime Minister's visit to Qatar comes just a day after Doha released 8 jailed former Indian naval personnel. 7 of them have returned to India on Monday morning. And our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is now joining us live from Abu Dhabi for the very latest highlights of Prime Minister Modi's visit to the UAE. And well, Siddhant, the Prime Minister expected at that diaspora event soon. Tell us a little bit more about that. And of course, a lot of soft diplomacy at display with the temple inauguration also slated tomorrow.
Well, I'm here at the Zayed Sports City Stadium, and the stadium is packed with the members of the diaspora waiting for the Prime Minister to come. We have seen the cultural extravaganza with the culture being shown across the country, but the diaspora clearly now waiting. Let's speak to some members of the diaspora. Ma'am, you have been waiting for some hours now. Let me first speak to you. What's your expectation from this mega diaspora event?
Just to know about everything about, wherever Modi is there, we are there. We are so proud of Modi ji, because the economy, how the India is developing, infrastructure, how it is developing, and he made us proud becoming a first temple in Middle East, which is going to open tomorrow. It's all because of Modi ji, and wherever we go, whichever country we go, we feel so proud just because of him. God bless him, and we want to see him again and again everywhere.
Again, that's the view. What would you like to say, ma'am?
I would say I can as I said earlier, we can go to any limits to meet Modi. He is a great leader and we love him.
World's strongest leader and the most powerful leader and corruption free. Ab ki baar 400 par. Ab ki baar 400 par.
I would like to call him father of new India. Modi!
And he's not only an India leader, he's a global leader. Everyone proud of him, not only India.
So how will you welcome the Prime Minister when he comes here?
With lots of love, with lots of love, with lots of love and respect.
So that's the view on the ground. The excitement is palpable for the people here. Remember, UAE is a host of 3.5 million members of the Indian diaspora. UAE hosts one of the largest communities when it comes to the Indians anywhere in the world. So that living bridge between India and the UAE exists, and we will see the celebration of that living bridge later today when the Prime Minister comes. Remember, the first public event of the Prime Minister, a public address of the Prime Minister will be this diaspora event. Tomorrow, of course, he goes to Dubai where he addresses the World Government Summit. The second time he is addressing the World Government Summit, and then, of course, the inauguration of the much-awaited BAPS Hindu Mandir, which is the first traditional stone temple of UAE and the largest temple in the West Asian region. So, two-day visit, a short visit, but a very substantive visit, a visit that will go in making sure that this relationship goes strength to strength. We have seen a number of pacts being signed, including on the protocol pact when it comes to museums, also on the India-Middle East Europe corridor, and also interlinking the UPI with the digital payments mechanism here and the introduction of the RuPay card in UAE.
Right, Siddhant, as we were pointing out that significantly, of course, this has majorly on soft diplomacy, but also you're saying that there have been so many discussions on substantive issues as well in this between the Prime Minister in his bilateral talks. Take us through a lot of that as well.
Well, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi held bilateral with the UAE President, and this bilateral saw focus on many areas. Let me start with the economy. We know that the bilateral investment treaty is something that was on the annual. It was approved by the cabinet, and now we see the exchange of that agreement. Remember that India had signed CEPA agreement in 2020 with the Emirati government. The second, of course, is focus on connectivity. In that terms, there is the financial connectivity. We saw the usage of transaction using that UAE card by the UAE President and the Indian Prime Minister, and also physical connectivity. Interestingly, an agreement, a framework agreement has been signed on the India, Middle East and Europe corridor, which is a corridor that was announced during India's G20 presidency. Other focus has been on trade. Essentially, a number of announcements coming during that meeting, and of course the UAE President breaking the protocol and meeting the Prime Minister at the airport, receiving him. There is something that shows the significance of the relationship, the personal relationship between the two leaders, and we know that both the leaders have been calling each other as brother. But let me give you another ground view of the stadium that will be hosting the Prime Minister, but it's already reverberating with, of course, India's culture, India's tradition, and we saw that entire cultural extravaganza as well. Let me show you the other aspect of the ground, how people are waiting for the Prime Minister. If my camera person can show you a wide view of the people here, and the people, of course, trying to speak to us. What would you like to say?
This is the event which is called for the Modi's event. This is I am possible, India is possible.
ये सेम स्टेटमेंट है। एक बाहरी कंट्री में अगर आप यहाँ पर 40,000 लोगों को एक साथ देखना चाहते हैं तो ये मूवमेंट है और किसी को भी यहाँ पर बुलाया नहीं गया.
Can you repeat what you were doing just 5 minutes ago when you were waiting for the Prime Minister and you were chanting a lot of patriotic slogans as well?
Sir, everyone is saying that अब की बार मोदी सरकार, अब की बार 400 or 400.
Right.
Modi Sarkar,
So essentially, the members of the diaspora are very excited and eager that Prime Minister comes and they listen to what he has in his mind when it comes to the vision for India.
Right, Siddhant. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest there on that diaspora event and the bilateral talks. We will keep coming back to you for more. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.